Hello everyone, my name is Kishantiran Rajendran. My metric number is A22B0090. Today I am going to review an article about 10 things you should never do when starting a new job. I am going to review the task into 3 parts which include introduction, body and conclusion. Without further ado, let's get into the first part, which is introduction. So for the first part, which is the introduction, what do you think is the possible title for the text? The answer is mistakes to avoid when starting a new job. Second question, why do you choose the text? The reason why I choose this article to review because the content of this article will help me to gain knowledge on things I need to avoid when I'm starting up with a new job or even during internship. I believe that everyone who starts out with their new job wants to give a good impression to others. Next, I'm going to talk about the second part, which is text body. The main idea of the text is the mistakes that should be avoided when we are starting a new job. Secondly, the intended audience for this text is the recently graduated college students who are going to start with their new job. Thirdly, the key parts of the text is the preparations before starting a new job, things we need should not to do, and our attitude and behavior had to be made sure when starting a new job. Fourthly, how do the key parts of the text interrelate? These key parts could be interrelated because both are necessary for good start during our new job. Fifth, how do the key parts of the text relate to their thesis statement? This part can be related to the statement as each of the paragraph discussed about the things we should never do when starting a new job by writer's opinion and view. Number 6. What does the author do to generate interest in the argument? Author generate interest in the argument by using the sentences with a deep meaning. For example, fly with your survivor at the end of third paragraph and to absorb them by osmosis in fifth paragraph to generate readers in argument. 7. How does the author convince readers of their notion of arguments? Author convince the reader of their notion of argument that generate can by bringing out the common problem for beginners who starting a new job. We can find fourth paragraph that sentences be attempting to skip this section by our treatment lightly. Author also did bring out 10 points with astrological ability about things should never do when starting a new job to convince those to argue. 8. The evidence provided and mentioned by the author in the support of the thesis statement, for example being on time matters in second paragraph, well dressed to show good in third paragraph. Don't be shy to asking for help in sixth paragraph and etc. Number 9. Is the evidence in the text convincing? Based on my opinion, I found the evidence in the text was quite convincing because other brought out a very convincing explanation and strong evidence. And now as for the final question for the second part, which is the body text. As the author anticipated opposing views and counter them, the author anticipated opposing views in sixth paragraph, which is understandable that you may need help or guidance during your first few weeks. Talk and asking co-workers for assistance is just to answer questions can be perfectly acceptable. Audience counter it by they should believe in themselves about their ability to solve the problem and finish the work without asking for help. And now for the final part, which is the conclusion. I can relate the idea of the text to my own experience because I have part-time work experience before this. I was sustained in my job because I took my job seriously and always listened to my co-workers' opinion. This text is very important for me because as a student, it's better for me to get to know about things that I have to do and avoid when I'm starting a new job so that I will not suffer when I join a new job and also can give good impression to others. That's all from me about the article review. Thank you so much for listening and watching my article review.